So we're on the halfway mark, and at number five, one of my favorite mint fragrances is from Creed, and it's Green Irish Tweed. I don't understand why Fragrantica has taken out mint as a fragrance note in their website in the description of Creed, but I've always known that this contain mint as a fragrance note. In fact, if you check the website of Creed, they list mint or peppermint as one of the fragrance notes of Green Irish Tweed, along with violet leaf, I think, and also ambergris. This is a very manly, fresh fragrance. A lot of people compare this with Cool Water from Davidoff. And I see I smell, I sense the association with Cool Water. It does smell like Cool Water, but I think this smells really more elegant, a lot more refined. It's actually a very gentlemanly scent. It kind of reminds me also of Irish Spring, the bar soaps. I really love wearing this, not during summer, but when it rains. For some reason, I associate this fragrance whenever it rains. So this is my favorite to wear when it's drizzling, when it's raining, showering. I don't know, there's an association for me for this fragrance and whenever it rains. So one of my favorite mint fragrances out there. At number four is another fragrance from the house of Thierry Mugler, and this is Cryptomint. And Cryptomint is one of my favorite gourmand fragrances. In fact, I think this is one of the first gourmand fragrances that I've ever bought. And to describe the fragrance of Cryptomint is like describing how mint chocolate ice cream smells like. So it's because there's chocolate here, there's coffee, there's patchouli, and apart from the mint. So it's actually a very delicious fragrance, and this is one of my favorite gourmand fragrances. It's one of also one, for some reason, this is also one of the better performing Mugler flankers that I have, and that's the reason why I really like this fragrance, one of my favorites from the House of Mugler. Number three on my list, one of my favorite mint fragrances, and also probably my favorite cheapie out there. This is Green Water from Jack Fan. I really love this fragrance. Actually, I fell in love with the first time I smelled this. It's very cooling. It's very green, as the name implies. Very aromatic also because of the basil. But it's also a very refreshing fragrance because there's a lot of citruses here. There's lime, there's bergamot, there's mandarin orange, and tangerine. And there's also ginger, which is also one of my favorite fragrance notes. So, despite this being a cheapy fragrance, I think I bought this for just about 1,000 pesos, and that's how much, about $20 for 100 ml bottle. It really performs really very well. It's a great office fragrance, great everyday fragrance. The vibe that I get here is that it has a soapy vibe as well, and I guess that's courtesy of the petitgrain. And does it have neroli? Well, it has jasmine. It's one, I think, of the best cheapy fragrances that you can have. And apart from being affordable, it's also, I think, long lasting. It's a bit underrated, but this fragrance has been around for maybe 60 years already or more. But the bottle design has changed over the years, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the second to the last bottle design. Now it's designed in cylindrical or rounded bottles, very much like the Christian Dior bottle design. I kinda hate though this bottle design because it's kind of hard to use because it's thin and fat, not very ergonomic in terms of holding this fragrance and spraying it. But I really love this because it's so green. It smells a little bit barber shoppy, if there's a word like that. But I really love this. It gives you also very fresh out of shower kind of vibe. Really love this fragrance. Number 2 on my list is from the house of Serjoff, and this is called Renaissance. So Renaissance has mint, lily of the valley, rose. So there's equal amounts of greenness and floral qualities to this. It has petitgrain, Amalfi lemon, tangerine, bergamot, but there's also amber, musk, Virginia cedar, and patchouli. This is actually a great fragrance from Serjoff because it's very refreshing. It's very green. It also lasts quite long also, although it's not the most affordable among these fragrances that I presented. In fact, this fragrance is bit on the, I would say, on the high side in terms of the price, but one of the most affordable actually in Serjoff line of fragrances. But although I really like this, I use this really sparingly. Well, number 1, because of the cost. I really love this because it's a different kind of mint fragrance. It's very green, but it's a greenness that lasts very long. Most mint fragrances actually do not last long, or most freshies for that matter do not last long. But this one really lasts for a long time. Maybe it lasts for about 6, 7, 8 hours on me, and for a freshie, that's quite a good performer. So this is one of my favorite fresh fragrances, or one of my favorite mint fragrances out there. And finally, number 1 on my list is from the house of Etalib d'Orange. And this is called You or Someone Like You. So it's a very unusual name for a fragrance, and I don't know really the story why this is called You or Someone Like You. But this is the most realistic mint fragrance that I've ever smelled. Actually, if you can smell this right now and smell this mint plant that I have here, it's almost the same. They almost smell the same. So some people may find this a little bit toothpastey, but no, to me it's not. It's, of course, it has that cooling fragrance, that cool, refreshing fragrance, just like toothpaste or mouthwash. But it's also green, very green. It's like, my description of this is like walking in a garden after it rained, and you can smell the greenness of the leaves, and you can smell the freshness of the vibe that that rain creates, and it's very cooling. It's definitely a daytime fragrance, but to me this is probably the most realistic mint fragrance out there. Sadly, this fragrance do not really last as long as I want this to be, but it's not as expensive as surge off, so you can just spray this anytime that you'd like to do a follow-on spritz. uh, I can smell how lovely the greenness and the cooling effect that it has. It's one of my favorite, definitely one of my favorite mint fragrances, and definitely one of my favorite fragrances, whether mint or not. So really, really in love with this fragrance. So there you have it. Those are my favorite mint fragrances. I hope that you will like this video. Please do comment if you have comments to share, and maybe you can share with me some of your favorite mint fragrances, and maybe you can also suggest a particular topic or a particular fragrance note that you would like me to review in the future. Like I've said, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I will be raffling off prizes in the future, in the near future. And this promotion is not just limited to viewers here in the Philippines, but it's actually open to subscribers from all over the world. So I hope that you will all subscribe to my channel, like this video, and please do comment. And I hope that I'll see you soon. So thank you and goodbye.